A very special edition of Xperience Sessions right here on indigomusic.com. I'm Rohit, and joining me are the band members of Submarine in Space. Watsal and Sayan, welcome to indigomusic.com.
Thank you so much
Nice
for
to
having
hear
us.
Now, guys, first of all, I want to talk about your band name, Submarine in Space. Who came up with this idea and what does it mean?
I mean, we really don't remember who came up with this idea at this point because it's been such a long time. But as I remember, it's probably because we were trying to create a kind of contrast to the name itself. So we were like, where does a submarine not fit at all
Right.
in space? So we were like, let's take it there.
Right. Well, fantastic. I mean, it's a very catchy band name, let me tell you that. Now, let's talk about the music that you guys create. What genre would you put yourself in? And how's the production? How's it done? And who does what?
Genre-wise, I'd say like all of us are like coming from different backgrounds. Like I personally studied Western classical, Hindustani classical, a little bit of jazz, and a lot of different stuff. Abhishek was a lot into funk and fusion. Sayan also a multi-instrumentalist plus very genre-wise. Like a percussion player Fidel comes from a Latin background and so on and so forth. And like culturally, we all come from very different backgrounds, and it's sort of an amalgamation of everything. And the songwriting process is also pretty organic, I'd say, because it's usually one person comes up with an idea and like everyone gives their inputs to that idea, and then we build a song from that. And the production and everything, like let's say for example, for the entire album release purpose, we had gotten aboard a huge team actually, for from photographers to videographers to our engineering for sound,
That
to our engineering
designer.
for lights, the stage designers. We had an entire stage that we had booked, and yeah, that it was one of the biggest projects of our lives, and it took us something.
I mean, that was one hectic production, like, because if you're planning to do everything in one go, might as well do it with a good, trusted, solid team, right? So
Right.
it was
Yeah.
well worth it, and it was a lovely experience, honestly.
Fantastic. And let's talk about your second album. It's called F5. What is this album all about? And, what is this whole idea behind this album?
The idea of naming our album, the idea of releasing an album came to us after we went through a lot of difficult times in our personal lives in terms of the music scene becoming more inaccessible because of COVID and
Right.
every other thing under God's green earth. So we were like, we need to get on the game, do something, refresh our heads, and so eventually we were like, the idea of refresh being a very integral part of the idea for the album
Right.
was widely accepted throughout the band.
Right.
And so we were like, what signifies the act of refresh? So we were like, the older Windows laptops and Windows computers. So whenever you press F5, it's a natural refresh. Like it's like
Right.
you press F5 to refresh your screen or system. So you were like, yeah, it's a button. You just name our album after a button.
Fantastic. Now, let's talk about the a track from the album. It's called Sugar Code. What is this track all about?
Sort of relate to it in different ways. Like if I tell you about myself, I relate to it in a way where it's got a jolly vibe to it, with this section in the middle of the song where there's this entire drum solo, which is sort of like a build up and like a contrast to the entire happy vibe of the song. So it's sort of like two different parts of our lives which we were also going through, one being super happy, and then there was this sudden 2-year phase of COVID where everything went haywire, and then we come back to what we wanted to come back by releasing this entire album and all of that. So I mean, of course the narrative will be different for different people, but that's what I feel from it.
Yeah, for everyone in the band, it's a different narrative because it's again a portrayal of all our experiences through instrumental music. So it can get wacky as it gets.
Right. Right. And what's plans for 2023?
Ideally, we would want to go around, play this album, tour with this, and definitely target major festivals, which are still programming,
Right.
and um, and
So
do a nice album launch tour, do different tours around the country, maybe international ones also, and a few collaborations that we want to do with a lot of beautiful musicians in the scene and out of the scene who are.
yeah, I mean, let's say if I give you a timeline, 2023 January is when we're targeting our album launch,
Right.
and from there on, targeting different festivals and small tours in different parts of the country. For example, if there's a festival happening in Bangalore, just outright just saying it out,
Right. Right.
we plan some 4 or 5 cities around Bangalore and play a tour there. Same thing if there's a festival in Northeast, plan a tour there, and different things like that. It's gonna be a collaborative album most likely, and yeah, of course we're in the planning stage yet.
Right, fantastic, and I hope all the best for your album release, which is slated to be in Jan. And it was fun connecting with you guys. It's very unique music that I've heard after in a very long time. So thank you so much for taking some time out, and all the best with your future endeavors and releases.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
Baba.
having us again.
All right, take care, San. Take care, Vatsal.
Yeah.